and Elections. We are going to get started so that we can all get to other committees that I know we have. We will get going with Delegate Chris Head on the report of Subcommittee 1. Chairman Head, are you ready with your subcommittee report?
I will be just about.
You want to call attendance?
While you're getting yourself prepared, we're going to go ahead and get attendance. Everyone will count yourself as present. Delegate Head, Taylor, okay. All right, and Williams, I don't think is here yet. Well, Taylor's here. All right. All right, there we go. All right, we'll close that. All right, Chairman Head, are we ready to go with the subcommittee report of?
Subcommittee 1. Thank you, Madam Chair. We did meet and had good, robust discussion on several bills. First bill that we have to report is House Bill 34 from Delegate Campbell. This is deals with absentee voting and the return of absentee ballots and the drop-off locations. This repeals the provisions of law providing for the establishment of drop-off locations and for the return of absentee ballots. The subcommittee recommended reporting on a vote of 6-4, and I would so move.
We'll open the roll. Okay, House Bill 34. Sorry, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, has everyone voted? Okay, that report's out 11-10.
All right. Our next bill, Madam Chairman, was House Bill 39 from Delegate Scott. This deals with absentee voting in person being available on the 14th day prior to election rather than going 45 days, but also extends out the time frame on each of those days, Monday through Saturday, to be, instead of just business hours, to be extended to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. And the subcommittee likewise reported this, recommended reporting on a vote of 6-4, and I would so move.
Okay, we have a motion to report 6-4.
Second.
Madam Chair, I apologize. My iPad is just not working this morning.
Delegate Taylor, you can just voice vote while they clear that up if you would like.
Yay.
Okay, that report, House Bill 39 reports out 11-10.
All right. Next on the report is House Bill 196 from Delegate Webert dealing with absentee voting and the permanent absentee voter list being repealed. This does, as I said, repeals the permanent absentee voter list, repeals the provision of law by which any registered voter may apply to receive absentee ballots for which all elections in which he or she is eligible to vote, and remains on the list until the voter requests in writing to be removed. The voter registration is canceled or placed in inactive status pursuant to law. The voter moves or to a different address not found in the same county or city of his registration. Again, the subcommittee recommended reporting on a vote of 6-4, and I would so move.
Okay. The subcommittee recommends reporting 6-4. All those in favor? Mhm. Right. House Bill 196. Delegates, okay. House Bill 196 reports 11-10.
Next, we had House Bill 528 from Delegate Batten, dealing with absentee voting and unsolicited absentee ballot applications. This addresses the issue when a third party could send out absentee ballot applications unsolicited to voters. It would now require in this bill that it be identified as not being solicited, identify clearly who was soliciting the voter registration, who was suggesting that, and would give transparency and clarity to that in the event of an election. So we again recommended reporting this bill on a vote of 6-4, and I would so move.
House Bill 528. All those wishing to vote. House Bill 528 reports out 11 to 10. Chairman Head.
And finally, Madam Chair, we have House Bill 1090 from Delegate Weber. This is a voter identification bill. This repeals the statute that would allow for voting without any form of identification and just return to where we were prior to that. The subcommittee recommended, again, reporting on a vote of 6-4, and I would so move.
Subcommittee recommends reporting 6-4. House Bill 1090 is up for a vote. Reports out 11 to 10.
And that completes my report, Madam Chair.
I believe that House Bill 177 was in your committee, Chairman Head. Wanted to be brought back up.
Yes, Madam Chair. We did have some discussion about that. No action was taken on that, but I believe that we've got some subsequent action that does need to be taken on 177, and so if we could call that up.
Okay.
Delegate
Right.
Marks.
Delegate Bloxham, House Bill 177 is
Yes,
before the
yes.
full committee.
Yes, ma'am, there is a substitute.
Okay. Can everyone see House Bill 177?
And Madam Chair, it should be available on IHOD and on LIS at this time.
Does everyone have that on LIS? House Bill 177, there's a substitute. Can I get a motion from the committee?
Move the substitute. Second.
Right. Delegate Bloxham, 177 is before the committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is the bill that left the committee speechless. It requires on a absentee ballot when it is returned that the voter put the date of birth and the last four of the social on the application, but it leaves the signature of the witness intact, and I think that was the issue. So with that, if there are any questions, Madam Chair.
Delegate Sickles.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to ask the patron, does this bill or this substitute before us a product of the campaign subcommittee or commission, whatever that was?
No, I would reply, Madam Chair, it might be, but I was not a party to that committee. This actually came from a registrar that thought this was a good idea because this was verifiable information that they had, and a witness signature they can't really verify. So this actually is like a double check on this.
Madam Chair.
Delegate
So if
Sickles.
they can't verify the witness signature, why don't we just go with the other two? That's an improvement on the last four and the
Madam Chair, my
date of birth.
response to the delegate would be that it does no harm to leave it the way it is. I think it's more acceptable in this form to my side.
Thank you, Delegate Bloxham.
Okay. All right.
Madam Chair, I have a motion at the appropriate time.
Delegate Adams.
I would move to report the
Second.
substitute.
Okay, we have a motion to report the substitute and a second. House Bill 177 is up for a vote. Have all the members voted that wish to vote? Delegate Adams or Van Valkenburg?
Need another minute.
Okay. All right, House Bill 177 reports out 14-6. Moving on, Subcommittee 2, Chairman O'Quinn.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Subcommittee number 2 met this week, and we reported one bill out. This is a bill that was heard once before in Subcommittee 2, reported to the full committee, and then sent back to Subcommittee 2 for further work. So this bill actually that is before you is in the original form that the bill was filed, and it prohibits state and local election officials from soliciting, accepting, using, or disposing of any monies, grant, property, or services given by a private individual or non-governmental entity for the purpose of funding voter education and outreach programs, voter registration programs, or any other expense incurred in the conduct of elections. The subcommittee recommended reporting 5-3, and I so move.
House Bill 205 reports out 11-10.
Madam Chairman, that completes my report.
Right. Moving on to Subcommittee 3 that just met this morning, Chair Adams.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would first direct the committee to House Bill 175, patroned by Delegate Bloxham. There is a substitute, and in the substitute, it removed the permanent absentee voter list, but replaced it with an obligation to mail individuals with the option of signing on to that. So that reported 7-1, and I would so move with the substitute.
Chairman.
Do we
Madam
need to
Chairman.
adopt the substitute, by the way? Mr. Clerk? Okay, so I would move the adoption of the substitute.
Okay. House Bill 175 is before the full committee.
Madam Chair, am I light on?
Delegate Sickles, did you have a question?
Yeah. What does this do again? Just explain it, please.
Madam Chair,
Delegate Bloxham?
it removes the registrars from sending out ballots permanently to people that have signed up for the permanent absentee ballot list. It requires them to do it yearly. So on December 15th or so, the voter will get a application for the absentee ballot for the year. They will be they will get an absentee ballot for every election that year, but it requires them yearly to say they want an absentee ballot instead of us just sending out ballots permanently into infinity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Speak to the bill.
Delegate Sickles?
It seems to me that this is just going to make the registrar's job more complicated and increase the unfunded mandate they already have. So I hope we vote no.
Okay, we need a motion to adopt the substitute.
So move again.
Okay. All those in favor of adopting the substitute, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, House Bill 175 is before us. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The second bill was House Bill 439.
Delegate Adams, did you want to vote?
Oh, the other Delegate Adams.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, it's Friday. It's been a long week. It's all good. All right, it's
Go
12
ahead-
12
go
to
ahead,
9.
cuz.
Thank you. Okay. Chair Adams.
All right. House Bill 439. Patron is Delegate Van Valkenburg. This bill also passed with a substitute. I would move the adoption of the substitute.
Second.
All those in favor?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
House Bill 439.
All right, the bill with the substitute is more narrow than the description in your report, and essentially, and I can have Delegate Van Valkenburg explain this further, but instead of providing actual materials, there's a link to a website that includes all the materials that are already being provided by way of explanation on referendums and statewide referendums and amendments. Is that correct, Delegate Van Valkenburg?
Yeah, so when you have a constitutional amendment, if you go to the polling location, you get the explainer that we on P&E create and vote on. But if you have an absentee ballot, you didn't get that. So in the last election, when we had the constitutional amendment on redistricting, your staff, DLS staff, elect staff, we're getting bombarded, staff that may or may not be on this dais right now, we're getting bombarded with questions about what they were voting on, and this would just make sure that the people who vote absentee are getting the same explainer that the people who vote in person get.
So with the substitute, I would move House Bill 439 with the substitute.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to adopt, to move House Bill 439 as a substitute. Okay, you can voice vote. Yeah. All right, it reports 21 to 0. Chair Adams.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 927, sponsored by Delegate Robinson, provides that absentee ballots processed at a central absentee precinct must be sorted by the precinct to which the voter who cast the absentee ballot is assigned, and that the resulting vote totals from such ballots be reported separately for each voter precinct. Subcommittee reporting 7-1, and I so move.
Delegate Sickles.
Yeah, I just want to point out, everyone likes this bill, I'm sure, but it's going to cost some money because the system doesn't do this now. With the new Barra system that's coming, it'll make it easier, I believe. But I just wanted to point out that this will make our registrar's jobs just a little bit harder. Thanks.
Thank you, Delegate Sickles. House Bill 927 reports 21 to 0. Thank you. Chair Adams.
House Bill 956, sponsored by Delegate LaRocque, requires that an absentee ballot be received before the closing of the polls on Election Day in order to be counted. This would repeal the provision that allows for absentee ballots that come into the polling place after Election Day within the third day, as long as it had a postmark prior to the date of election. That provision would be repealed. The rest of the statute would remain the same. The subcommittee recommends reporting that by a vote of 5-3, and I would so move.
Subcommittee recommends reporting 5-3. 5-3. Second.
Madam Chair? I'm so sorry. I had a question of clarity if there was a substitute because it sounded a little different than when we heard it earlier.
There is no substitute,
There's
Delegate.
no. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, we have a second. House Bill 956 is before us. Subcommittee recommend reporting 5-3. Everyone has voted. House Bill 956 reports out 11 to 10. That has completed all of our subcommittee reports and our full committee docket for the week. And the committee is adjourned. Thank you.